This is my game controller. There are many game controllers like it, but this one is mine. Without me, my game controller is useless.
Hey guys, Adam here from GameNTrain and welcome to the third episode of the Let's Play Skyrim, The Adventures of Khajii. So obviously last we left off we just escaped from Helgen Keep and now we are obviously in the open wilderness of Skyrim. So one of the first places I like to go when I start a new character is actually the 3 Guardian Stones, pretty much just right in front of you. These let you specialise somewhat in your class, either warrior, mage or thief. In doing so, it makes it easier for you to level up those skills. Obviously us being a Khajiit and going for the stealthier traits, we'll be picking up the thief stone. It gives you a 20% boost to learning thief skills, which of course is very nice. After that, I like to head towards Ember Shard Mine. Ember Shard Mine is probably the only place I would go every time I start, and that is because it is so good for gold and experience early on. You do get about 1,000 gold from it, depending on how lucky you are in terms of the loot drops and whatnot. Of course, you also get some armor and some better weaponry and all that sort of stuff. So first up, obviously you need to be sneaking around here, although it is usually useless early on because as you can see I try to fire here and completely mess up and hit the wall. Oop, got attention, so I try to fire it again, at least get a little bit of damage on it before we engage. Miss again. So obviously pull out my steel dagger and go in for the kill. Being lightly armoured, not really sure how much damage these guys do. Don't really want to engage too much, so trying to stay mobile is probably my best bet here, but as you can see it's not really working. A good way early on to get some free hits in is definitely do a pommel strike or a shield bash, as it does stagger the opponent for a few seconds, so you can get 2 or 3 hits in for free. Or 1 power attack, which I definitely recommend. So you go for the pommel strike, then the power attack to get that extra damage in. It usually finishes off the enemy quite nicely. So Ember Shard Mine's got next to no traps. It's relatively safe to travel through. There is one at the entrance, but it's unlikely to ever hit you even if you do activate it, and it doesn't draw any attention to you from the guards because it's too far away. It's that little trip wire there. So to the right, down next to the bridge, there's 2 bandits. At this point, it's probably going to take 2 or 3 arrows to take out. So obviously, you go in for the sneak attack here, and I'll miss this shot as always. But the 3rd shot definitely hits the target, and the next guy still isn't over here. But it doesn't matter because he's obviously dead with the kill cam there. So of course, early on, the armor bandits wear is actually better than what you have, only slightly, but you might as well equip it if you have it, and of course we're going for the light armor. So yeah, if you find any arrows that you've used on them, you definitely want to pick up those arrows back because it can get a bit pricey, although you should find quite early on hundreds of additional arrows, for iron arrows at least anyway. Well, your higher leveled arrows like so your elven arrows are usually a bit rarer. So as you can see, Khajiits have a natural ability called, I think it's Night Eye, which lets you see in the dark. I experiment a little bit with it during this dungeon, and to be honest, I don't use it that much afterwards. Most dungeons are actually quite well lighted due to torches, so you don't really need it. Though if there ever is a dungeon where it's particularly dark, we'll definitely be using that as opposed to pulling out a torch or going in blind. Though to be honest, a superior ability would be something like a life detecting spell, which obviously detects people through walls and whatnot. So this unfortunate chap here is of course just being crushed by a beam And he wrote in his journal that he's afraid the beams will collapse. So a little bit of foresight there. Shame he didn't escape in time. So obviously there's a bridge leading across there, so to open it, there's this simple lever mechanism. Pull that. Bridge drops, and then you can cross. Obviously there's 2 enemies coming across that bridge, so you need to be a bit careful when it comes to that. You don't want to engage them both at the same time, as it could lead to death, or even wasting potions to keep alive. So what I do is actually leap over to the bridge and go for the sneak attacks, because they do split up and they're obviously facing the wrong way, so you can't sneak on the sky and slit his throat, which is definitely what you should do. Obviously I messed up. So after messing up, I just sliced my path quickly, and luckily his pal didn't notice the commotion. If he was a bit closer, that could have been ugly. As you can see, I actually lost quite a bit of health there. If 2 came, I might have actually died from that. So luckily for us, we didn't. So he's crossing the bridge, and we could hopefully get a sneak attack on this guy. And we do manage to get 2 sneak attacks in, and the 3rd hit just kills him. So obviously we level up, which we should do now, and if I remember correctly, we do actually go into the sneak tree and go for the ×6 backstab and damage, which is very nice, because now we're actually doing double the backstab damage that we're doing before, and triple the sneak attack bonus for bows, so we are definitely more powerful. We can actually 1-hit kill bandits now with that, or 2-hit kill, depending on how powerful they are. So here we're actually firing an arrow off to try and distract the guard, who is just around that corner there. I don't think it works though. No, she knew exactly where it was, so just came out of the corner and came a kill with. Although sometimes firing arrows off in the opposite direction where you are does distract them, and they will go that way, which is a bit of advice for some of these Thieves Guild quests, because you can't really kill people in the Thieves Guild quests. So firing off arrows for distractionary purposes is very handy. Obviously you don't want to be wasting your good arrows, so only using your crappy iron arrows is definitely the way forward. This is the armory inside of the actual Ember Shard mine, and obviously we've just picked up quite an expensive staff there, as well as just some coins. I think that staff was worth a couple hundred gold, so obviously we're already well up on gold here. And this is just the first little room. There's another massive chamber which has got more chests and various loot drops lying around for us to pick up. So in this room I think there's 3 or 4 guys. Again, you don't want to engage them all at the same time, as it will quickly lead to death. So timing is important. There's a guy who would walk across that bridge over there, and obviously if you time it incorrectly, she'll spot you and start firing arrows off. And also get the bandit down there to obviously reveal your position, which isn't good. You want to kind of time your kills so you don't have all of them attacking at the same time. Unless obviously the more warrior based classes, who will then have the iron or even steel pieces of armor at this point, to, who can take the blows, whilst obviously we can't, because we're in paper thin armor. So obviously sneak behind this guy, and go for the throat slit, and he's down. Sneak attacking with daggers gives you way more experience than sneak attacking with bows. So much so that until around about level 50, I think, every single sneak attack with a dagger actually gives you a level. So you really want to try and use that as much as possible. Obviously in some situations the bow is superior, because you can't really get close enough to get your dagger out. But if you do get in close enough, your dagger definitely does the most damage. I mean, later on you can get ×30 damage with the backstab, which is huge, obviously. Compared, I think the maximum is ×12, I think, for a regular sword, and it's only ×6, so ×3, sorry, for a bow. So you definitely want to be trying to use the daggers as much as possible when you're going for the backstabs. And you maybe want to carry a sword when the fights start rolling, because you kind of want to have a decent combat weapon for the combat. So like a magic sword is definitely preferable to a magic dagger once the brawl starts. So yeah, we could have tried to chase her down there, but obviously she's probably walking faster than we're sneaking, and if she's not, we probably wouldn't have got there in time. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for her to sort of walk back, and then slit our throat on the bridge. We don't quite have the damage to kill bandits in one hit. It's sort of like one hit will get them down to nearly dead, and the second hit is a guaranteed kill. So stronger dagger, or even a magical enchantment, would definitely make it easier to get those one hit kills. So yeah, she's coming around the corner here, so we'll go in for the quick back stab here. And there you go, so it's 2 hit. First hit weakens, second hit to the throat. And again we've got another experience level in sneak, and we've leveled up again just from this one dungeon. So we're looking for some for the equipment there, and we'll go for a bit of looting because that's the last enemy here, so we'll start looting the bodies. There's a pretty hefty chest to the right and a lot of gems to the left, and obviously we're taking them both here. So again we're going into the sneak tree, and I think we go for muffled movement. Yeah, so it makes it harder for people to hear when we're moving, which is very nice. So yeah, to the left here there is a coin purse, some coins and a lot of gems. I think overall that's worth about 300 gold there alone, and obviously a chest which has even more in. So this is basically the this is why I like this kind of starting area, because it's out of the way. There's not many enemies. You've got enough experience from it to level up a few times, and it's a good way of practicing your sneaking. And there's definitely plenty of loot to make it worth your while. So again, we're kind of like trying to get a bit of a set going here. So we've got our hide armor plus some studded armor for the the cuirass there. Again, we're avoiding the helmets because we kind of like our cat-like features. So over here there is a glowing blue book which gives you a smithing level. So you really want to try and find those books because they do help level up. And of course there's some iron ingots and some iron bars, which are handy for later on, because smithing, as I mentioned in the first or second part, is very, very handy for even earlier late game. I mean, you'll see that quite early on we'll actually have elven armor, which is 10 or so levels earlier than we actually should have it. So maybe even 20 levels earlier. So having that added defense is a massive boost early on. So obviously most dungeons have a secondary exit, and this one is no exception. So we'll leave to the secondary exit, and we'll probably just fast travel to the first exit and head towards Riverwood for the main story quest, really, because we kind of want the dragons to come. Luckily though, that Ember Shard mine we're right in front of Riverwood, so we're going to be running straight there to obviously get a new quest, to get a new map marker and continue the main story, which is to unleash dragons later on, which is very handy.
Probably working in her lumber mill.
So that's the end of this episode of Let's Play Skyrim, The Adventures of Khajii. So join us next time for more thieving based adventures and stuff. So this is Adam from GameNTrain. Happy gaming and God bless.